And we're back with District 27 candidate Republican Michael Cloud. Again, thank you so much for being with us. Let's get right into it.
Sure.
So we're going to move to the Texas power grid, although I know you mentioned that it's not in your jurisdiction. However, do you believe climate is still enough of a concern for the federal government to have to step in?
Here's the deal when it comes to a lot of the climate discussion we see going on. I was in a committee hearing once and the chair said, "We're in a national climate emergency." And I replied, if there's a climate emergency, it's not a national one, it's a global one. And so any sort of solution set we see needs to take the whole world into account. And right now what we see is China building 50 coal plants, for example, to build the solar panels that are coming here to take up farmland in the United States. And so many of these policies where it's the rare earth minerals that China controls are really designed to cede America power and influence to these nations that don't have our best interest in mind. And so we need to be energy independent. The world's a safer place when we're energy independent, not to mention the families here in the United States are stronger, gas prices are lower, products are lower, we can afford food, we can do a whole lot more, and we maintain peace and prosperity. Under the Trump administration, we literally saw historic peace deals in the Middle East because of our strength in the energy sector. Where in the reverse of that right now, we see war going on because of our failed energy policies here at home. And so you have to look at this thing in a larger concept. And right now, Americans produce energy better than the rest of the world. We produce agriculture better than the rest of the world. Right now, this administration is trying to attack ag products under the climate initiatives. And so the best thing that we can do for the world is to take up more of the world market when it comes to energy and more of the world market when it comes to agriculture and all these products. The answer is really exporting, letting America lead on these issues.
So I know that the Republican platform is currently defunding those climate initiatives that you mentioned. Why do you think that is a move forward? Here's the thing. We need to let the American worker do the best thing. It's not that we're defunding. We're not subsidizing them in the same. We should not be subsidizing things like this. We have a nuclear plant in our district, for example, that was having to pay to put electricity on the grid because wind power was over subsidized, and then we end up not having enough base load of energy when it comes to something like the freeze that happened. And so what we see happening in Europe right now is people are literally chopping down trees to burn wood, which is a whole lot more carbon footprint than natural gas, for example, right. Because of our failed energy policies. So what we need to do is to see America lead, let America continue to innovate. Each generation is going to get better. What we see right now is policies that are not good for the climate. They actually have the reverse effect than the stated goals and are wreaking havoc on the American family while putting American security at the hands of other nations that don't have our best interest in mind. It's a devastating policy and it needs to be reversed. Okay, and real quick, where do you stand on the notion that says that these extreme weather things that we're seeing, like the one in February, are caused by climate change?
Well, very recently we saw, and we had a committee hearing on the same sort of thing, you know, where they try to connect a hurricane that just happened or some extreme weather event that happened now to an overall man-made climate change agenda. The science for that is extremely, extremely sketchy. What we know is the climate's been changing for a long time. You can look back to 20, 30 years of climate headlines and you'll see just the variety of projections. And you'll see that the projections that the government and some of this climate agenda, the projections have been way off as well. And so we got to get back to sound energy policy and stop letting it's turned into a religion, basically, this climatology, so to speak, and it's guiding us into really not sound policy that's destroying the United States.
Gotcha. All right, well, thank you so much, Michael Cloud. And don't go anywhere because up next we hear from Democrat Macluvio Perez.